trying to get some stops and trying to get some scores. I think we had some really good looks, actually. And we didn't let that deter us. I also think that we adjusted what we did on defense. I think we kind of came back into ourselves. We've been doing a lot of different things with matchups over these last 5 games, and just going back to our baseline and understanding, our philosophy in that, it really helped us get the stops that we needed to be able to turn that over into points on the other end.
Sami, what were you seeing, whether it was on the court or from the bench, with Kayla McBride and how she was able to get her offense going, and then for you turning around and getting those 3-pointers in the fourth?
I mean, she's just a great shooter. I thought some of them were open, obviously, but I think some were really well contested, tough shots. And I think when, I think we just let her see a couple go through early. So I think be a little bit more aggressive, stay a little bit closer to her. And then on the other side, I just thought that we know they're a heavy nail help team, and we just did a really great job of getting downhill, attacking that nail. They helped, and we kicked it. And yeah, I thought we shared the ball really well.
Sorry, I was trying to get the numerical figure right. Nneka, Skylar gets 12 assists, which is, I think, it's a season high. How important is it for her vision in terms of, you guys play good defense, balls in her hands, her ability to see the floor and get the ball out? How important is that to your offense?
I mean, it's the crux of our offense, really. And I think that it's more about us making the shots that she distributes. I feel as though us locking into really kind of capitalizing on how she's able to distribute the ball is the way that we can really highlight just how impactful her vision on the court is. Tonight, we were very much able to do that. We talked about it, I think. It was like a point of emphasis for us to be able to just like hit open shots. And she makes it an effort to understand the lineup that's in there and how to get people different shots. And tonight we were able to really see that flow the way that we know that it can work with her. She is no different every night. But, us knocking down shots, it certainly helps the person that's distributing the ball,
First, for anyone, I'm curious, coming into this game, I believe you guys have dropped 3 of the 3 games against Minnesota this season. How much was, getting revenge for those and avoiding that, like 0-4 in the column? How energizing was that?
Well, yeah, I mean, pride kicks in every time, but I think even more, I think it was just a response that we wanted after the Vegas game to come in here and respond, no matter who the opponent was. And obviously it was the perfect one because we had, like you said, we dropped 3 early. So yeah, I think pride kicks in, but I think we more so were just focused on, coming out and responding.
Great. And then for you, I'm wondering, specifically in the game with Minnesota, they like to, with all the motion they run and with all, the above the break screening stuff that they run between their guards. How much of an emphasis for you coming into this game was it to stay locked in through all those screens and all the sort of assignments and ways you have to flip your hips to keep with them?
Yeah, I mean, Nick said it, they're in a great system, and it's a system we've been seeing for 13, 12, however many years. And so we know that they're all threats. And the thing about it is sometimes it's even harder to scout because they flow very well. And so it's kind of unpredictable, the next action and things like that. But I think we played player tendencies. We did a good job with player tendencies tonight and knowing where the asset was, what the action was, and what the coverage was going to be. I thought we did a good job of that. Nneka spoke to it, just kind of falling into that. And then feeding through that on the other side. They only had 1 player in double figures. We know this is a team that's capable of having 4, 5, and 6. And then on the other side, us having 5 in double figures. I know that we're a great team when we're distributing like that, when we're moving our bodies, when we're moving the ball. And so we were able to anchor on defense tonight, and that kind of established us on offense, being able to get out into flow more, which is kind of what they like doing.
One game before the All-Star and Olympic break, how important is commanding victory like today, especially considering that some part of the team is going to be scattered around during this period?
You mean like 1 home game?
1 home game. 1 home and then 1 away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that we want to close this thing out. We have an opportunity to really put ourselves in a good position. We're over the halfway mark now. We don't have half of the games left on the backside of this Olympic break. We have 3 Olympians, 1 Olympic coach, and we know that they're going to be obviously carrying a big load when it comes to the effort that they have to give, whether it's travel, practicing, and then competing in these games. And so it's going to be on all of us to remain connected. I know I'm going to be here working out
Same.
I know she's gonna be here working out. And
Seattle.
yeah. And just leaving a good taste in our mouth, you know, when we're done with these next two games, being able to close this thing out 7-9 at home. And then getting a good road win before people go about and
Handle their
win
business.
medals,
Yeah,
win medals, or
medals.
get some rest, you know, just staying locked in that way.
Skylar, 12 assists for you tonight and 17 assists for your teammates. The rest of your team had 29 assists on 33 baskets. Give me your perspective on your own performance, but the rest of your teammates following suit, basically, with that same mindset.
Yeah, I think just finding each other tonight, you know, that ball wasn't sticking. We emphasized before the game getting to second and third side because they're a team that Sam was saying has heavy nail. They deny a lot of initial action. And so we talked about some counters we wanted to do to that. And I thought in transition, we got out really well. I don't know how many we end up scoring, but points in the paint. And also, we made some threes tonight, really. And that's a big deal for us. We feel like we've been getting the ones, but we really got the people that we wanted to shoot them open, clean, and got a few looks. In the first half, Nneka knocked them down, but Nneka really got us going. You know, we just kept going to her at that point. I think it was the second quarter when she was just killing underneath. And we love heavy doses. I leave every game like, how can I get Nneka the ball more? But yeah, we just did a good job of sharing the basketball. And I think that's the brand. We kind of emphasize offense a little more, to be honest, than we had in the past. And why, what do we look like? We did a lot of different internally talked about different things we could do. And I thought we came up with a great game plan tonight against a veteran team. No feast, but still a veteran team who's capable of shooting the basketball well and, you know, scoring. So I thought, yeah, we just was great moving the basketball. I mean, you know, I'm a mom. I got the mom eyes. I see everything. But no, I play with great players and everybody's capable of making shots. And I think everybody just having that mindset, being aggressive, first of all, getting in them holes, coming off the ball screens hard, setting good screens. I thought we paid a lot of attention to detail tonight and it showed off for us throughout the duration of the game.
In your first three matchups, you guys averaged around 19 turnovers. Tonight, only 11. Just speak to how important that is and just taking care of the basketball today and tonight's victory.
Yeah, guards want to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we had talked about too, as far as, you know, we had kind of cut down as we played them, the trajectory of points off turnovers was going down. And so we wanted to just stay in that pocket. As I have 4 turnovers to lead the team. 3-1. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, just staying in that moving transition. Yeah. So yeah. Feel a little redundant saying, but yeah, that was.
Let's take a question from Zoom. Christian, go ahead.
My first question is for Nneka. The other day, I believe it was after the Aces game, you said you came to Seattle not to prove that you can still play, but more so to prove it to yourself. With the season high 26 points today, and kind of like Skylar was just saying, the team relied on you in and out throughout the entire game. What does it do for your confidence in knowing that you really are that player that you know that you are?
I mean, for me, I think it was more about just striking a balance with the roles that I hold. You know, I think that I was in an organization for a really long time, and I came in as like a young rook with lots of vets and one of the best, you know, one of the most historical veterans to play with in Candace. I was Robin for a lot of years, and then I had to be Batman, and that was a transition. And then, you know, in the middle of that transition, I also was kind of shouldering a lot when it came to like my presidential role. And I think that leaning into that was fulfilling, but I think that it consumed me. And so I wanted to kind of make a deliberate change with this transition of just, you know, not only like leaving the organization that I was at and all the things that I had built both on and off the court, and just to be a little bit, you know, more liberated in that way, you know, kind of bringing it back to the basics, like almost as if I was like a rookie again, coming in, just playing hard, doing what I know how to do, having teammates that believe in me. I don't think it's necessarily that I'm not confident. I think that sometimes I don't like getting in the way. And I think what I'm realizing is that I get in the way of myself, and my teammates help remind me of that. So, you know, games like this is helpful, you know, like it's cool and all, but like it's not all about the points for me, you know. It's about how I feel when I'm out there. It's about how I feel with my teammates. When I'm out there, I want to be an asset always. And I feel that here in Seattle.
Time for one last question. Christian, go ahead with your last one.
Yes, my last one's for Skylar. I know there was a season high, career high, 12 assists tonight, but really just the looks that you generate that don't really turn into the assists that set up your teammates, like Nneka have talked about really this season's Coach Quinn as well. Like, are you seeing anything differently over the second half of this season so far? Just because the first half, not that it was different, but it seems that the pass is just a little bit more velocity on them, so to speak.
I think maybe just coming in, like learning the new system, you know, you kind of try to learn people, try to learn new, everything was new. I had a new body, you know, coming in, learning a new system, trying to get in shape, trying to like, you know, balance. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like I have my bearings underneath me now to be able to maybe complete some of the thoughts that I had at the beginning, but also I think just the knowledge of the system, the players, you know, the system, the players, you know, knowing who I wanted to have the ball at what time, you know, being more comfortable and not looking to the sideline, you know, for plays, just kind of being more confident in this system as a point guard for this team and kind of the needs. And so, yeah, I feel like that as this season continues to go, and I think it'll just continue to get better. But yeah, I mean, a lot of film, a lot of time with Noe and film and just trying to figure out, you know, how to get people in the right places with the ball. And also that duality of trying to balance me being aggressive for myself as well to open up those pockets and, you know, to open it up for everybody. So, yeah.
Ladies, thank you very much. We'll have coaching
Thank
here
you.
in just a minute.
Oh.
I saw, am I on? Okay, yeah, I thought, you know, a little bit too comfortable, in that 9-2 stretch. We lost, a couple of key assignments, because we've talked about defending the 3-point line and making sure we weren't losing McBride. So it's just a refocus, and talking about, we actually had to adjust our DHO coverage, because if they got too downhill, no resistance. And so we talked about that. But I thought that when we refocused, we got back on track, got some deflection, some activity defensively, and got some good things offensively.
Alana Smith has notoriously been very successful against you guys.
sure.
And Bridget Carlton's had a very good season. You hold them to 2 points each. What did you like about your defense there?
With the exception of the bucket that Carlton got downhill, I maybe a couple of threes that, you know, kind of went in and out for her, but for the most part, I thought we were very attentive to being in her space, being physical with her, finding her in transition. A lot of what she gets in their offense is the corner threes, because of the point of attack coverage is a breakdown or whatever the case may be, over help. And so I thought that our defense was very solid to start and then didn't get anything on the backside as much. Smith, her activity has hurt us. So the rebounding has hurt us and her ability to block shots and do all those things. I thought were neutralized tonight because of Nneka and her physicality, but also Ezi was more mindful of getting a body on her and not making her physicality an issue.
Nneka led you guys with 26 points. For them, Kayla McBride, 27. What did you see from both of those players?
McBride is playing out of this planet. You know, the way she's shooting the 3-ball, how efficient she's been, and her confidence level, you know, the quick trigger really is quick and her ability to really play within the offense and find her spots. She's deadly from 3 and she has been all her career, but this year has just been exceptional. And then, you know, Nneka is just efficient. 19 points in the first half, I believe, and it's not forced. I remember the play where she's 2 feet in the paint, she sprays to Tori for the 3. Like, those are things that she's capable of, and she's finding her spots, not only for herself, but for her team. The communication, the leadership, all those things that happened during the timeout, the adjustments that were being made, she's kind of spurring that and being the captain of that. And, you know, we're blessed to have her here. She's a special talent.
Coach, you mentioned that the assignments and the execution of them were a little bit off in the beginning. I'm wondering, it seemed like past that there was still a commitment to maybe closing out in front of the player to stay in front and defend the drive as opposed to trying to run them off the line. Was that a deliberate strategy or just the execution of it?
I mean, one of our points of emphasis was to defend the 3-point line. About 30 or 40% of what Minnesota does is from the 3-point line. They're shooting at a 40% clip. So it's not enough to, just close out or run them off the line. I mean, they're capable basketball players, but it's just being mindful of not over like the nuances of not helping on strong side with the shooter or over helping or over rotating where we're not supposed to. So I think just being solid and understanding that they actually take a lot of contested threes and hit them at a high clip. So at the end of the day, sometimes you can have very good defense and they're just very elite from that aspect of the game. So we were very mindful of the 3-point line, but also I think when we're in ball screen coverages, I think that helped with the spray out and the closeouts and the keeping them in front. Yeah.
We had talked about turnovers pregame, but I think 3 or 4 of them came in the first and the rest of the half only ended up with 11 on the game. How important was that in tonight's victory?
Yeah, we had 8 at halftime. And I think we gave up 15 points from those live ball turnovers. And then we cleaned that up and only gave up 3 points off that. So it mattered. That was a point of emphasis as well. Minnesota leads the league in points off of turnovers. So that means we have to take care of the basketball. And I think a lot of the game is just not going to be perfect, but we have to eliminate those timely ones, those live ball ones, and then the compounded ones in which they come play after play after play. And so I thought we cleaned that up at halftime. And when we take shots on goal and not turn the ball over, I think some of the really good things happen for us offensively.
Coach, on this homestand, 3 of the real quality teams came in: Connecticut, Vegas, Minnesota. You beat 2 of those 3.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the significance of that going forward as you get toward later in the season now.
Yeah, it's important to beat the teams who are ahead of us because, that's what this set season and schedule is going to be. A very winnable game with Vegas and not trying to look at the past, but just trying to build days and make sure we're doing the things that we're, hone in on the things that we're doing well and continue to, fix the things that we aren't. But to be competing at a high level with those teams who are ahead of us is very important, especially with this team who hasn't logged a lot of minutes together or had a lot of reps together to find ways to be competitive, be in games, and with those very, very good teams that are ahead of us is important. But also it's about understanding that every team in this league is deadly. No matter what the record indicates on any given night, it's going to be a game. And so our competitive character, our discipline, our being dangerously disciplined has to come into play with anybody who comes with any game that we play, honestly.
Coach, without getting too much into your business, today after the shoot around, you spent a little extra time with Skylar. And I saw you kind of working. What were some generalities you were working with her? Because obviously something happened for her to get the double-double.
Well, I'm just absorbing from her. I'm learning from her. Marcus Tibbs is our PD coach and works very close with Sky. And especially during shoot around, that's a touch point that we talk about the shots that, are going to happen in the game and just kind of honing in on those, focusing on those shots. Sky's always talking about strategy and all things basketball. She's a basketball savant. And so to have moments with her and Marcus to kind of talk through that, it helps elevate what she can do during the game because of, the reps were moved out. The reps give the confidence and that's what we do during shoot around. And, as is Pokey with Sami and you see Eb with Nneka, but those touch points from me to her are important because she's an extension of me.
Was physicality focus good basic fundamental basketball and emphasis? Just going back to last game, the 30-point third quarter, was that something you and the team kind of concentrated on this week?
I mean, that was the second time we gave up a 30-point quarter all year. And it didn't feel like that during the game, but you look at the stats and it was because the run were like 4 points and then the run was like 4, it wasn't like 17 points. So we were just mindful of keeping it simple, but being aggressive. And, you know, when you play a team like Minnesota who has firepower, especially from three and versatility with their bigs, sometimes we don't want to overthink, but do the most aggressive thing. And I thought that we were very solid with everything, points in the paint, transition defense, not giving up too many open looks. Mhm.
Let's go to Zoom. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win. Nneka was just in here and was really talking about her adjustment going from kind of a Robin role to Batman while she was in LA, the vets that she had to start out with, and then kind of carrying the load on her own the latter years when she was with the Sparks, and then coming to Seattle and really playing for herself and really her own production. Just kind of wondering what you've seen from start of the season until now, and also just kind of the buildup of her own confidence and shot making ability that's played into tonight.
I think, you know, she's doing, you know, watching Nneka from afar, like in a opponent standpoint or a coaching standpoint, I was always in awe with her ability to be so efficient in the paint, and what she added every single year to her game. Like a couple of years ago, you could tell she worked on her handle, and so she was playing in space a little bit more. She's added the three. And so from afar, you don't think a player like that lacks in any capacity as it relates to her confidence or understanding that she is a Batman, right? And so for her to come into a situation where she can just be herself, be free, you know, be a consummate pro, be a leader, but also not have to carry so much of the load. I think you're seeing an iteration of her that is you know, this is the season for her that she's in, and she's taking it in stride, coming to a new system, playing with the players that she's playing with, playing amazing basketball. Also the accountability she takes on and off the court, the leadership role that she's taken. It is just, I talk about this all the time, to breathe her rare air for me, even to see a player, an elite player like that, work every single day, take care of her body. The things that she does on the court, it's not a surprise to me because she puts so much work in. She's very cerebral, but also plays the game at a high level, wants to be a great teammate. And because of that, she's able to continue to be so elite.
One more, if I can. With so much production coming from 4 of the 5 starters in double digits, I mean, you still had really good minutes from Victoria Vivians. She had 5 points. That 8-0 run start the second. Joyner Holmes, Mercedes Russell. I mean, I think Sami had 14 points in like 20 minutes. Just kind of wondering, how does reserves coming in, providing that lift, how does that help with versus kind of like film watching habits versus wins and losses?
Yeah, what that group is also doing is being in stay ready games, getting extra reps, getting their workouts in before and after practice, and being pros, honestly. When preparation meets an opportunity, things like this happen. And so, you know, I've been around Sami for so long, and I know that when she gets on fire, it's hard to stop that. And it was good to see some go through and give us a huge lift as she did. I thought Mercedes gave us great minutes with her energy, and maybe it didn't show up on the stats, but I see it running the floor, altering shots, and same with Tori and same with Joyner. And it's not a coincidence that they had a good game because they've been preparing all week, every day, doing the extra work. And it's important that we have them playing at a high level because they're just as important as the starters.
Jeff, go ahead and close this out.
Yeah, a little bit of a similar question, but I believe I read a stat. You guys are now 13-0 when you shoot above 25% from three. Tori and Sami had very good games there. How important is it to get them involved more often? And then kind of two-parter, you had 29 assists. What did you see from your offense overall?
Yeah, I'll start with the assists. I thought we were really moving the ball. I thought we were being mindful of paint to great. So getting 2 feet in and finding either the dump down or kick out. I saw a difference in the way the ball was moving and popping. I think we're very intentional about sharing the ball today. And when that happens and you're at home with the crowd, a couple of those shots kind of go in and fall for you. A couple of bunnies that we missed too, but I thought that overall our ball movement was really good. And then the first part was 3-pointers. Yeah. All year, we haven't been efficient in that area. I have a goal in my mind of where we actually hit the goal today, of where we want to be, not only percentage wise, but makes wise. And, the neutralizer for us has been points in the paint and getting to the free throw line. And if we can continue to live in that area, some good things will happen, but we have to have balance in our 3-point shooting. And so for Tori to come in and hit, for Sami to hit, you see Nneka hit, Jewell's going to get on track, I know, and start to see hers go through as well. It matters for us because when you have a lot of balance offensively, we can be very, very good. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
See y'all on Sunday.